Hi creatives, Kay Langlois coming to you from my dining room studio, and I am going to show you today some basic supplies that you can have in a very contained, organized, more or less fashion for when you want to play along with some of my videos, whether it's on the canvas or watercolor paper. There are an array of supplies you can use, and I'm going to go over a few basic ones, whether you're working from your dining room table like I am, in your studio, or on the go. Sometimes I'll be bringing to you videos from around San Francisco, working outside, and you can enjoy a little bit of the wonderful landscape of the city. So let's check it out. Okay, creatives. So here we go. This is my Mary Poppins bag, which I like to call it. And let's have a look, shall we? So you can use a backpack, you can use boxes, whatever works for you. This is my favorite thing that I'm using right now, and that is a little travel bag. And my friend Elizabeth was using this, and I thought that was really great. And it's got little zippered compartments. So this is where I have a lot of the drawing and painting utensils. So on the top, I've got some drawing pencils. These are Staedtler, and they're numbered and lettered according to varying softness or hardness of lead. My favorite is a 5B. That's a little more on the soft side. The harder, lower numbers, those are more for detail and hard lines. And then this is the greatest pencil sharpener. Love this. It's heavy metal and it works really well. They're small, so they do tend to get lost. I have a couple of them for insurance. And then General's Kneaded Eraser. That's a really good one. Comes like this, and then you knead it, and when you erase things, you can knead it, and it gets clean again, ready for reuse. It's kind of like Silly Putty. So I've got that. And then compartment number 2, I've got various markers. These are water-based markers, variety of colors. I like to use little hair ties to keep stuff organized. These are permanent markers, Sharpie brand. These are not water soluble, but they're great as well for doing various things. And I have watercolor pencils. So water-based markers, watercolor pencils. You can use paintbrush with water. They're great with acrylic paints, also water-based, so really great as well. So that's in there. And then in the bottom, I have Inktense. These are my favorite. Love these. They're really saturated color, really great, and also water soluble. So they're really fun. I think because it kind of harkens back to when I was a kid and using crayons, so they're really great. There's some smaller ones because they break into, and you can use them on their side or the tip, and just love those. So that's there. Hold on to various containers from like chocolates or what have you, and reuse them for art supplies. I also have a little tiny bottle of water. These are really great because they fit right in here, and you'll have several brushes. Here's a few different sizes. These are really inexpensive. They tend to they travel in packs typically, and you might get 10 to 20 different brushes in a pack for not that much money. And these are round brushes versus the flat thinner ones. And these are what I primarily use. So in here I have another little fun container with my little robots and vintage spaceships. And here I have some of my Micron pens. This is a permanent pen with varying tips. Great for sketching, and then you can fill it in with color, kind of like creating your own coloring book, which is fun. What I tend to use the most is a 5 or 8 millimeter, probably. You can see the tips. I don't know where the cap went for this one. The tips are quite fine, but and there's also a brush tip that you can get. I don't know if you can see that. So those are another thing to play with, and you can use that right on the canvas or watercolor paper. And then this is a fairly new acquisition from my friend Annette Wagner. This is a brush tip on here as well, and this is a Sumi-e pen, which was used by my teacher Sue Hoya Sellers, taught to her by her teacher Lenore Strauss, and so I really cherish that one. Okay, some other optional things. You could get a little watercolor kit. This is really great for travel. It comes with a little watercolor brush that folds up like this and is easy to put away. All of these things, you could just take this with you, and a little thing of water. Use your water bottle. You know, you don't have to have every one of these pieces. These markers are really great if the odor of the markers is a problem. I tend to be a little sensitive to the smells. If you're using them for a length of time and they bother you, try the Molotow. They're refillable and barely any odor at all. They come in varying tips. These are 1 millimeter extra fine, which I like. And I really like the white. The white is really fun for highlights. There you go. There's a few more things there. Let's see. You want to have either paper towels, or this is just a bit of canvas or a rag of some sort for absorbing drips, and if you get too much paint, you can pat it and absorb it that way. You might want a little smaller size sketchbook to have with you. This is watercolor paper. You can just have a regular sketchbook. This is another way to have water with you. It's a water brush, and it has a brush tip and a little vessel down here. This unscrews and you just fill it up and put water in it, and the water comes out through the brush tip, and it's a lot of fun to use and compact. And then let's see, what else do we have in here? I like to have a pair of scissors with me if you want to cut down your paper or cut something out of a magazine and glue it onto your piece. That's always fun. And then you can have a glue stick too. This is just another thing for fun if you want a magnifying glass. And I have a little pair of binoculars just for fun. Want to see something far away or up close. Those are fun little things to have with you if you're outside, drawing outside or painting outside. And then I always have some red thread, because red thread is our connection to one another, and it's a good reminder when I'm doing these videos for all of you that you are connected. We are all connected. So that's okay, two more useful things. I have a little mirror. This is really good for a reference if you want to just have a visual external reminder of your face. You're doing a face. Or you could have a camera, either your phone with a camera on it, something to take a visual reference for something. Sometimes you come across symbols and things like that that are useful and you want to go back to them. And then this is just a piece of string, and I have some charcoal tied to the end. If I use it sometimes if I want to do a circle, you just position it on your paper and go around and that's helpful. That's pretty much all that I have in my little bag of tricks. Then for a drawing board, I just have a piece of wood with some clips. This is with watercolor paper and just little clips that you can find anywhere at a stationery store, Michael's or something like that, whatever you have where you live. And that is really portable and keeps your work flat and protected. And then this is my other go-to, a mixed media book with paper that can handle pretty much all of the materials that I showed you. And I have a stack of these always being used for journal, sketches, drawings, things of that nature, explorations. Then these I don't take with me generally when I'm going out on site, but sometimes I do, but they're a little more messy, and that is just liquid acrylic from Golden, my go-to. These are 4 ounce or 1 ounce respectively, and you know, you can get a handful of basic colors: white, brown, blue, red, green, yellow, and black, and then expand from there. You can also use like some of these I get from Liquitex. These are bigger tubes. I use these for the edges of my canvas. So that's good. Then, of course, if you are working on a surface you want to protect, you can buy a big square of canvas from a hardware store or art store and make all the mess you want on it. I think that's about it.